Hi, I'm Olivia. You said that you need to be memorable, but what are some tips or tricks on how to be memorable when you are networking?
Gosh, I think when I think back to how I became memorable, it was basically maybe forming a connection with somebody that they understood that I was really hearing them out, and then of course that flipped as well. They actually took the time to hear me out as well. But being memorable, I think, is just adding just an extra spark. And I think if we go back to that networking, and Steph knows this, when I used to go, when I made myself go to those events, I personally took the decision not to drink. And that actually came from my father because he said in the professional field, you never want to lose their trust, but you also don't want people to lose respect for you. And I kept really, really separate. And I don't know if maybe that's what did make me memorable because when I had conversations, they were very clear, they were very concise. And maybe I then came across as being a little bit bolder and I sort of took that initiative of just trying to be memorable in what I had to offer. And I think it also came with probably age because I was a little bit older than everybody else. But it came with time and sometimes it just didn't work. But it's just really just being confident in what you can do in the creative space. And I think circling back to finding ways of connecting with people, and I actually had this conversation during the break. Our industry is actually very small, as large as it is. So don't ever take for granted of how important those connections are with people and how you do have to be memorable. Because people talk in this industry, and if they talk on positive notes, there's going to be many opportunities that are going to open for you. So just be yourself, and don't be afraid to go up to people who you respect, because they want to learn from you, and it's a breath of fresh air when someone is so passionate that they just want to ask you a few questions. Even if you ask for like a Zoom date or like a coffee date over Zoom, that'll be great. Just never ever be afraid just to be yourself and just ask. Ask lots of questions. I wish that I asked.
Seth, can I just add to that? If you want to be memorable, ask questions about that person first. Make it about them. This is book called How to Influence People and Make Friends. And it's a quick read. If you talk to someone about them, then and then you must keep quiet and listen and pick up on things that they're saying. Then you'll be memorable because everyone's coming with a pitch. Don't come with a pitch. Just go and if you genuinely want to engage with people, engage with them and talk about them. Don't get yourself out of the way. But don't keep your mouth shut, not saying what you want to say. Make your intentions clear. But the thing is, it's about them. Because we are vain creatures. It's a simple. I think it's not in a bad way. And the other thing that Lauren said is if you talk to someone about them, people really I find like to hand out um, how can I say, talk about their experiences. They like to share. There's this teaching role. It's like you're asking questions. Okay, it's almost like you're elevating them, saying, "Listen, yeah, I find you interesting," and now all of a sudden you're asking for help, almost in not help, but for more information. And people divulge, especially if you talk about them the whole time. And I find that's how you will be remembered. You don't have to wear dress and long heels, all those things. I think just
Yeah.
engage with people.
I think that was mine, Alfie's approach with the podcast, right? That's how we get people to trust us. We just ask them questions and they just talk about themselves. And afterwards, it's always so funny. They feel like we have connected with them so much and we get these beautiful responses of people like, wow, guys, that was such a meaningful conversation. And many a times I actually reflect and we didn't really talk that much. We were actually just listening. And that's it. You facilitate and you make space for them to talk. And a lot of the time, that's where connection happens, right? That's how we also fall in love. When you give that person some space to be themselves, to talk, you connect with them. Right, question.